you guys asked me to say something. It's my testimony.
Yeah!
So I wrote it in point form just so I don't forget anything and leave anything out. But I'm going to give you 12 years in the making right now. So the best place to start is the beginning, right? So when I was 7, my mom was given a prophecy, right, at 7 years old, saying, God's going to use me in some way, all of that, Jeremiah 1, everything. But 5 years later, I'm 12 years old, and, my family broke apart, right? And once a father figure is not there, you look to somewhere else. What I went to was where I'm from the hood, right? From the blocks, whatever. And I had this thing where I said, okay, my mom, I'm not gonna bother my mom. She's got me and my brother to take care of. I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna get it on my own. So I started saying, you know what, I need money. And I can't do this 9 to 5 thing, slave to it, like no offense. Just in my state of mind, I said, no, 2 weeks, I'm slaving, I can't do it, I need money now. So it was really when I was like 12, 13, like I started selling weed, right? At 13. Messed up already, right? And money was just a thing where I said, it is the answer to all problems. If you don't feel good, you go buy something that you feel good. If you don't look good, you go buy something that makes you look good. That's how I thought about money. So, and with how I was getting money, there's a certain lifestyle that follows it. And I don't blame anybody because people will say, oh, you hang around with bad people, they influence you. In fact, I was the one that was influencing. This is pretty crazy, I know. They tell me, my mom always say, don't hang around, don't go outside, and this and that. But little did she know, people are following me. Started smoking weed early, 12, 13, started drinking maybe. I took my first shot of hard liquor when I was 13. And I don't know, it was the whole lifestyle, there's a certain thing when you go to church and you're involved in this Christian lifestyle, there's certain things that it takes you away from. But I wasn't doing that, so I was walking towards the other parts. The smoking, the drinking, the banging, whatever you want to call it, the hood life, whatever you want to call it. I was doing all of that. So money became my idol. It became something that I needed. Even though this whole time, I grew up in this church, yes, and I knew God was real, yes, and I knew the Bible was real, yes. I wasn't ignorant of the fact that God is real. But put that in the back of my mind, that He can't really do anything for me right now, right? So I started doing that, and it didn't really get serious. I'm gonna say till I was really 17, 18. That's when, if anybody knows, like anybody that age, that's where you go and earn your stripes, and you go rob this and that. You want more of the drugs, so you can make more money. That's when you become really violent, to be honest with you. At 17, like very violent in the way where you have to do things in order to get what you need, whether it be money, power, respect. It's a song, right? They were telling us, money, power, respect, that's the key to life. This is how I grew up. I didn't grow up John, Psalms, Genesis. I didn't grow up like that. I didn't spend my teenage years doing that. I spent my teenage years smoking, drinking, going after girls, just living life, living life, having a great time. But, so fast forward to 19, I went to jail for the first time for a gun. Some church knows, like some of the church knows. I went there for a gun. First time ever in jail. Did 11 straight months. But I would call people and they said, John, you sound like you're having a great time. But it was really my character saying, if I can't control something, I'm gonna just let it go and let it do what it do. But if I can control something, then yes, I need to see it my way. I need to see the outcome from my energy. But since I was in jail and they were telling me when to eat, sleep, tell me what to eat, all of that, I said, you know, I can't do anything, so I'm gonna just make the best of it. Imagine making the best out of jail for 11 months. I used to see people, they used to go in and out, in and out. I said, what's wrong with you? You're going out 5 times, I'm trying to get out once. You know, like the freedom of being able to just walk on the bench, walk and sit down on the bench and just chill. You know, it wasn't there, but it was whatever for me. I just have to have a mind state of, I gotta tough this out. I gotta toughen it out, and I'll be home soon. That's what I used to tell them. I'll be home soon. Don't worry about it. But you know, jail's a funny place because the littlest things, like you move somebody's towel from there to there, you will have to fight. If somebody says, "Who moved my towel?" and you tell, "I did it," they'll say, "Why?" It's just a power thing. You know, it's like a power. And I did that for 11 months. It's funny. I was still smoking in jail. You know, weed became something where it helped me forget a lot of things. Not in the sense of bad memory. It just helped me forget things I didn't want to remember for the time being. Right? I got out after 11 months. Summer was there to see me. When I came out, we went to eat. But I'm gonna be honest with you. When I heard that the church was involved, I didn't think they were trying to help. I thought they were just trying to get into my business. I said, "Well, you guys want to know about this? Or you're gonna go tell everybody?" Like, I didn't need it, you know. But obviously that wasn't the case because it came out of love, right? So I was out for 8 months. Then in February 2008, I got out in 2007, June 28th, 2007. February 21st, 2008, I got locked up again for selling drugs now. I mean, I was already doing that, but now I got caught for it. Somebody set me up, and there was like investigation and cameras and all that when I read the paperwork. But at this point, my dad didn't want to bail me up. So I said, okay, I don't need you then. And I've gotten to a point where I've seen so much death, I've seen so much blood, I've seen so much just nastiness that I was able to say, I don't need you. I don't need anybody. I got me. And to be honest with you, with the friends that I grew up with, they became my family. So family for me, not even just family, people for me were expendable. Like if me and you don't see eye to eye, I don't need you in my life. It's whether we grew up for 10 years, the minute you do something wrong to me, if I can't hurt you, then I don't need you. So I couldn't do that to my dad. I couldn't fight him, so I said, okay, we don't need to talk. So then at this point, by the way, my mom was in the States. And the second time I got arrested and I got bailed out by my aunt, I stayed over family's house, and he said, my uncle, he said, you should talk to your mom. And I haven't, at this point I'm 21. I left my mom's house when I was 16, I went to my dad's house. So from 16 to 21, I didn't talk to my mom, and I felt no ways about it. I didn't care. I was like, who is she? She's just another person. Just another flesh and blood. Like, she's not doing anything for me. She's too far away. What can she do for me? So I sent her an email. I remember at this point, I'm not talking to my dad. So I just sent her an email, I said hi, that was it. Then we kind of started talking again, and we developed a relationship again over email, text. Mom texted me here and there. So we were talking, whatever. But so at this point now, when my dad didn't bail me out, he said, I can't do that. I cut him off. I said, okay, I don't need you, clearly. So I stayed with my aunt for a bit. Then I heard in 2010, January, my dad was going back home for a couple months. And at this point, I was at my aunt's house. So I said, you know what, I should go there just because my little brother's there. And I didn't want to leave him alone, right? So I went. A couple months later, so just me and my brother for like 2 months, just at that house. Like Elsie and them used to come by, cook food and stuff. It was great. But so it was just me and my brother for 2 months. And my dad came one day. I remember the day he came. I was sleeping. He came over, looked at me, didn't say anything. But you know, he's a dad, right? Unconditional love, right? Some dads, at least my dad, unconditional, right? So he didn't say anything. He didn't say, Johnny, get up, whatever. So that was it. We started being cool again, I guess. As far as I'm concerned, we're cool now. Cool meaning he's letting me stay. I don't have to show him anything. That's it. Whatever. So around June that same year, I came home in the nighttime, and he was leaving. And at this point, I was sobering up. You know, I was still drunk, but he said, "Yo, you high right now? Like, you drunk?" I said, "No." He said, "I can smell it." I said, "Whatever." Next morning, he said, "Johnny, get up." I said, "What do you mean get up? Go where?" He said, "I don't want to leave my house." I said, "Okay." I didn't want to leave at first. I didn't want to leave, obviously. But I seen him change the locks and everything that day, and he told me, "Get up." I said, "Okay." So I went to my friend's house. Stayed at my friend's house for about a month. While I was there, this is 2010, while I was there, I was watching all these end time videos, because I like the end times. I've always liked the end times, like, about the future. Not the past, not the present. I want to know about the future. I like control, you know? I like control. I need to know where I'm headed. So I was all night watching videos of end time stuff, end time stuff. My friend used to say, "You're still watching it?" I said, "Yeah, man, this is some pretty crazy stuff." And at this point, I'm probably a couple of years into this game. The game is selling drugs, that's all it is. Selling drugs, robbing people, that's all it is. So I'm saying, you know what? I've made some money. I'm gonna make more money, stop, and eventually go to school. But all the kind of schools that are available out there, like York, Ryerson, all that, they didn't have anything for me personally. Like, there's nothing that they could teach me that I wanted. And I told myself, if I'm gonna learn something, I need to learn the truth. And this is before I was saved. I wanted to go to Bible college, just because I like history. I like history, and what better to study than real history, right? Like the truth, like, you know, like I needed, that's just my logic thing. And growing up in this church, you know, so that plus logic said, if you like history, you might as well find out about the Bible. So, and I think that's when it started. When I say when that started, God chasing after me. And so that happened. I got my own place, living by myself. Used to come every day and, you know, do my thing and sell my drugs, basically. Right? That's how I made money. That's how I made money. I've never worked. I've had 3 jobs my whole life, and they lasted 2 weeks each. I took that paycheck and I bought more drugs so I could make more money. Money was the motivation. Money was everything to me. That's it. Money, money, money. Everything. Every day I wake up, money. Because money's calling me. Money wakes me up. Money says, "I need you right now. I need this. I need that." I said, "Okay." So that was my motivation. Like, forget anything else. My motivation was to get more money and by any means. So that means I have to defend my money too. If anybody said, I want yours, I said, no, you can't have mine. This is mine. And I was willing to do anything. This is how the gun charge came and this and that, because you can't protect yourself with your fist when you're outside. You need it. This is how I grew up, right? You need that. People say, I'd rather be caught with it than without it. This is the kind of life that some people live, you know? Everything you see in the movies, hear about, in rap and stuff, is true. I'm not saying they do it, but it exists. People do walk around. You never know who you see has a gun, right? But that's only because they're fear for their life. You're not taking mine, and I need my life. And to bring you into the kind of mind state I was in, I knew the Bible was real. I knew God was real, so I knew hell was real. And I always asked God, I said, God, please, you know, if I ever go, let me see it coming. Just so I can have time to say, I'm sorry. That's how I was thinking. Just because I knew if somebody was to come and do me, like kill me right away, I knew exactly where I would end up. So I have to be in a mindset where I cannot let you do that to me. I cannot let you send me to hell, because I knew exactly what hell is. I knew where I would go if I was to die instantly. I already knew that. But yet, being Mr. I can do it by myself, carry that sometimes. But so fast forward 2010, 2011 now. This is thinking, okay, Johnny, you gotta go hard. You have to make as much money as you can and just get out of this. So I used to work, sell my drugs basically. I used to work when everybody else was sleeping. So I would work in the nighttime. I would stay in, we wouldn't put adults onto our lingo. It's something called a trap house. It's a crack house, but it's a trap house. That's where you work at. This is my place of work. Sit down, have my computer, have the lobby on TV, watching who goes in and out. Every night for about a year and a half, I would sleep in the daytime. Not even sleep, I'll sleep like 4 hours because I had a problem sleeping. So I had to smoke to go. To be honest with you, I had to smoke to do everything. To eat, to leave my house, to after I eat, when I come back in, when I'm watching TV, before a movie, after a movie. If you want me to tell you in numbers, I've spent $50 every day. So that's 5 grams of weed every day for 7 days a week. So that's $350 every week just to keep me grounded, just to keep me at a level where I need to just chill and not be paranoid or antsy. I needed to be. Everybody knew me as a guy who, there were some kids when I was young, when I was like 14 and I was smoking, they used to look at me and say, yo, you're a weed head. And a couple years later, that same kid became the biggest pothead. And so you have to understand, I've been doing this for a long time. I was smoking for a long time, right? So 2011 now, where I told myself, Johnny, you gotta just make money and just get out of here. I actually told myself, make enough money, buy yourself a Rollie, it's a Rolex, just so you can say, I got something out of this. But God's funny because He has a way of making you think what you plan is gonna happen. Around 2011, around like summertime, 2011, I started seeing weird things like, for example, I'll give you an example. There was a singer, and he was coming out with this mixtape, this record It was called Thursday, right? And a week and a half before that, I had a dream, right? It was on a Sunday, actually. I had a dream that my ex-girlfriend at the time, she was in my dream. She said, "Johnny, I'm leaving for good on Thursday." I said, "Okay." I never told her. I said, "Okay, that's good." And that Thursday, we got into like this little fight. And I told her, I can't have you in my life. Like, you mess me up too much in here. You know, you tell me one thing, you do another. I don't need you. You know, like, I can't have this. And to be honest with you, like, this is the first time I was actually in love with somebody. This is the first time. You have to understand, I'm a person. I could tell you, yes, I was a robot. I have no emotions at all. Because to have emotions means you wouldn't do certain things that I thought were logical. Like I used to think murder was logical. Because I didn't think of it as, I'm a big bad man, I'm gonna kill you. No, it's if you try to take something from me, I will kill you. This is what a gun is for. I'm not doing this for show. I'm not doing this to rap about it. I'm not doing this to have a hype name about it. I could care less about fame. I want my money. Touch anything off of me, I would kill you. But you know, thank God God saved a lot of lives. Because it never came down to where I was actually gonna do it. There were so much times where I had it right here and this person was right there, and I said, if they say the wrong thing, I'll do it right now. Nobody will know. But, you know, by God's grace, they walked away. Nothing, they didn't say the wrong thing. They didn't look at me wrong. They didn't do anything wrong. There were so many times, so many instances where I said, if this person does anything, I'll shoot him right here. But for me, it wasn't cool. It was logical. So you have to understand what kind of mind state I was in. Cold, very cold. As far as human beings go, I was cold. I didn't care. If I can detach myself from family, who are you to me? You're expendable. You're just another human being in my life that I don't even care about. So this is the kind of mindset I was in. Very cold, very heartless, robotic, no emotions, until this girl came in. This girl found a way to make my heart do something, right? But that didn't work out, and I was fine with it. We had a good run, but it didn't work out. So we broke up, right? But we broke up we broke up in 2010. And a year later, on her birthday actually, she called me and said, "Johnny, I want to see you, this and that." So okay, and she knows how I felt about her. I know how she felt about me. So I'm thinking, you know, there's a saying, which is not true at all, but it's, if you love something, you let it go, and if it comes back, then you know it's true. It's not true at all. I can tell you, it's not. But I let her go for a year. She came back, and it was even worse. So, you know, so she came back in May, but around June, July 2011, I started really asking her, like, why are you here? Like, why'd you come back? You know, like, if what we have, I accepted it. I said, why are you back here? And part of me was happy because for once I could say somebody tangible in front of me loves me. My dad, I wasn't talking to my dad. My mom was in the States. My brother, yes, you know, that's my love. That's my everything. But he was doing his own thing. We talk all the time, but this was a person where I could show my affection. But it didn't work out, and now she comes back a year later messing up my head. For me, I always told people, don't think with your heart, think with your brain. This is what you have your brain for, right? So for me, it's like you're messing my brain up because I don't know what my heart wants something, but my brain is telling me, Johnny, this is not it. This is fishy, right? So she came back and we got into an argument, and I said, yo, to be honest with you, I really, really need you to get out of my life. I really can't talk to you. Like, we can't do this. I deleted her off BBM, off Facebook, off everything. Everything you could think about. Unfollowed her. I was like, I don't need you anymore, please. So at this point now, I was mad at myself because I told myself, look, this is what happens when you try to love somebody. You know? This is what happens when you try to be nice to somebody and you give them a piece of you. This is what happens. They find a way to turn it back and make it nasty. You should know this. Nothing works out properly. As far as loving somebody goes, nothing works out for you. You know? So I was mad at myself. I said, okay, learn from this. So I had revenge on my mind. On the girl, obviously. Nothing physical to her, obviously. But she had a best friend. So to put a date on it, I dreamt on Sunday that she said she'd gone for good on Thursday. Thursday came, we got into a fight, never want to see her again. That Thursday was August 18, right? And then August 25th, which is another Thursday, was my friend's birthday party at the same place that me and her got into a fight at. This is how God, because He knows me, He knows how I am with dates and stuff, right? So, and in between that, before that second Thursday, that mixtape came out, I'm like, and I don't believe in coincidences. I'm like, why is this mixtape called Thursday? I dreamt about this a week and a half ago. We got into a fight on Thursday, and somewhere in between, in a couple of days, an album gets brought out called Thursday. I said, is there something else on Thursday? What is going on? So, and at this point, my third time, I think my second or third time bumping into Johanna just randomly. I lived at King and Dufferin, and he worked around Dufferin, so I bumped into him once there and one time at the mall, and I think the third time was at King and Dufferin, and he said, Johnny, I want you to come to this camp and like connect with God. I said, you know, and thinking about all these things that I felt like God was just showing me, you know, don't worry. At the end of the day, I'm still with you. Because there was a time where I thought I was going crazy. Because like all these weird things keep happening, and I'm a person that doesn't believe in coincidences, but all these weird things are happening, and I just figured this was God saying, yo, you're messed up, but I still got you. I still love you. You know, but so He's telling me, John, I want you to come to this camp, connect with God. I said, you know, I think me and God are pretty good. I don't need a camp to tell me I'm connected with God. And he said, well, think about it. I said, yeah. So this is August 18, that me and her got into a fight, and in between that, so the next week is August 25th, I had a choice. I had to go to the birthday party at the lounge, or I go to Fusion. Because Fusion was on a Thursday, too. It was August 25th. And then my logic stepped in and said, Johnny, God's trying to tell you something. And I kind of got scared. I said, if I don't go to Fusion, what will happen to me? Why is God telling me all these things and telling me to pay attention to these things? And telling Johanna comes and says, come to a camp. I didn't know what to do, so I remember it was since it was August 25th that the camp was at, I have rent to pay for September, so I need to make at least a little bit more money just so, you know. So I tried to cop out. I called him on the 23rd. I said, Johanna, thank you, but no thank you, I can't come. I gotta work so I can pay my rent. I said, no, how much you need? So he wouldn't give me a way out. I said, what is going on? There's something at that camp. if I don't go, to be honest with you, I thought if I didn't go, I might die. Because I actually got scared. So all these things are leading up to this one day. So the choice was, go to this party, exact your revenge on your ex-girlfriend by taking her best friend home who showed interest in me. I said, okay, had that. So same old stuff, same cycle, sex, money, drugs, whatever, or find out what God's trying to tell you. So I went to Fusion because I got scared. So I went to Fusion, and part of the selling pitch that Johanna gave me was, Pastor Andy, it was just kind of just like you. I said, nobody's like me, you don't understand. He said, no, he knows where you're coming from. I said, okay, so I'll go hear what he has to say. So I went to Fusion, and it's funny because what happened with my ex-girlfriend was like my last straw. I said, yo, I can't take this emotion stuff, this love stuff. I don't need it. It did me good for all these years, and this one girl came in and messed it up. So it's funny that a cold heart got broken because of love, right? Then I went to Fusion, and a cold, stony heart got broken, but fixed because of love.
Amen.
So on a Friday, I remember trying to pray, and I couldn't pray because all these things were passing through my head. Like, to be honest with you, the most dirtiest thing I was thinking about girls, like images of girls and like music and movies. All these things just kept passing through my head, so I couldn't pray. I was like, what's going on? I'm trying to pray, but I can't because my mind is bombarded with images, mostly of like women, to be honest with you. So I told Andy, I can't pray. Like, I thought I used to know how to pray, but I can't pray. So he said, you want me to pray for you? I said, yeah. So we did it. He prayed for me like in the middle of like the park. Like, as we were walking, he said, stop right here, and then we prayed. And then that Saturday, never forget, it was August 27th. So it's funny, August 27th, I got saved, right? This is me and God's relationship. He's funny in my life. August 27th, I got saved. May 27th, I get baptized. That's 9 months. So
9 months.
Him knowing me knowing him, he's trying to tell me something. He said, you know, that August 27th, there was a seed that was planted.
Amen.
Right? And his birthday, 9 months later, he got baptized. And now I couldn't go back to that because and the reason why I say that is because there was no peace. I never had a sense of peace until I finally came to Christ. It was so weird. And there was one time I was praying for a lot of my friends, for where I was from. I felt selfish because out of everybody I know, out of every single one of us, I'm the only one with real peace. And it honestly hurt me. Because I actually felt selfish. I said, God, I need you to do something in their life. Because I am the result of a lot of prayer. Elsie prayed for me a lot. From when Johanna told me, Elsie always prayed for me. So, you know, God finally said, okay, time to set things in motion. So now it's this life. I've lived one life extremely So I gotta do this extremely.
Amen.
That's how I am. I have an extremist personality. If I do something, I'm going all the way, committed, go. So now I wasn't a normal person, normal citizen of Toronto, meaning I work, pay taxes, none of that. I didn't do any of that. So there's no way I could be a normal Christian, because that's not my personality. So I have to do something very extreme, right? And that's why I'm going to Edmonton for a year to get taught by Pastor Andy, I guess, to prepare me for ministry, right? Because people like me, well, people like the old me need to know that you're not as bad as you think you are to come. I was the grimiest, coldest, most heartless person in the world that I thought. But yet, I'm a softie now because I have love in me. So, like, just to wrap this all up, it's a lot of prayer with them. This is what, I guess I am the result of what prayer can do. I am the result of what love can do. Not human love, God's love. And I think that's it. And grace, that's all it is. It's grace that carried me through. I could have died so many times. Well, not that I had my life in danger, but just in the life that I was living, knowing if this person found that I robbed them, obviously they're gonna come after me. That's like everything messed up, whatever. But grace. It says we're not saved by works, but by grace through faith, right? I knew God was real, so that's little mustard seed of faith that I already had. Just knowing God is real, Jesus is real, His Word is real. And grace is what carried me over. So, once I tasted that kind of love that no amount of drinking or smoking can forget. Like, I remember asking my friend, I said, why do we drink so much? Because where I'm from, we drink every day. Every day we drink or smoke, or both. So I asked him, why do we drink so much? I said, I don't know. I said, and I knew inside is us numbing the pain of a life that is not ideal, you know? It's us numbing and trying to forget of all the things that didn't work out properly. So you drink and you smoke every day to help you numb it and forget it. But all that is because there's no unconditional love, you know? So once I tasted that, it's not that I didn't want to drink or smoke anymore. It's just, it's not that I didn't have to. I just didn't want to, you know? And I guess this is what God's love does. It transforms. Once you taste that kind of love, it just changes everything about you.
Amen.
The way you think, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the things that you watch or listen to. Once Christ is in you, thank God for conviction, because you still be doing the same things. But when you feel like, I shouldn't be doing this, that's amazing to have. From going from this is the right thing to do, the most evil, nasty thing, that's logical, to I shouldn't even be watching this show. That's for me, that's crazy to know that, there's somebody who's watching me that makes me feel like I shouldn't be doing this or saying this or thinking this right now, so I get on my knees and say, God, forgive me, right? So I'm very thankful, because I know what it is to lose something. It's people, I know probably over 20 people that's died, and maybe 2 of them naturally. And that was just this year alone, after Christ, after I got saved. So before I got saved, I knew about 20 people that died, all violently. Gun, whatever, stabbing, whatever, mostly guns. So I know what it's like to have life and then not have life a minute later, because I've experienced it. I've been to too many funerals, I've seen too many people that I know die. So now to have life and knowing even if you die, that's gain. That's what Paul said, right? Like, it makes you feel happy, you know? It really makes you feel at peace. It makes you feel secure, and that's what I love. I love security. I like knowing I have this, so the result will be this. But once again, I'm a very logical person, but my logic tells me you have Christ, so there's nothing, literally nothing to worry about. Right? So that's it now. Now it's Johnny lived one crazy life. Now it's time to live another crazy life.